Well, hi, it is Monday. I am now in a very rainy, wet Dunedin. It's been pretty full on. When I got back from the airport last night, I was knackered. I I'm still hoping to give my legs a rest today, but because the pool is only open at restricted hours, probably not going to get any exercise in today because I'm not going to be back until a lot later on this evening. After I've visited the limb centre, I am going to pop round and see my friend Lorraine. Now, I have posted about her before. We've been out a couple of times, St Clair Cafe and various other places. She was in the hospital with me when I was having all my multiple surgeries before I lost my leg. She was in the opposite bed in the room of 4 with me. On the day they came in, pulled the curtains around, told me that they would have to amputate. Of course, the magic curtain does not cut out the sound. So when they pulled it back, Lorraine on the other side of the curtain was looking at me aghast, couldn't believe what she just heard. So we've kept in contact since. But Lorraine has got leukemia and is really quite unwell, and has just been transferred from the hospital to palliative care, I think, and so I'm going to go around to see her later. I've had to make an appointment. I've got to going to stay for half an hour. I've got to socially distance. I have to be given a completely new clean mask when I go in. I can't wear an outside mask inside. All of these COVID restrictions. It must be a horrible, horrible time to be really unwell, critically unwell, because nobody can touch you or be near you, and that's the sort of thing you need when you're feeling like that. So I really feel for Lorraine and all the people that are in that sort of position right now within this horrible COVID land. Everybody's behind a mask and has to stand back. It can't be pleasant at all. Anyway, I have no idea what the limb centre want to talk to me about. I'm seeing an orthopaedic surgeon, and I've got my bike leg. I'm hoping Ryoji can twiddle it a bit so that we can maybe stop it chafing on the back of my leg. Yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit. It seems that the limb centre wanted to do an annual review on my leg and how it was going. The last time I saw the orthopaedic surgeon apparently was 5 weeks post-op, before they gave me my first limb. So he was talking about how I was doing right now, pain levels and restrictions and things like that. So we talked about the claudication in the leg below the knee, and about the activity that I'm doing, and there was nothing that they were concerned about. Obviously I got no open wounds, so they don't need to look at it, like I'm not diabetic, but we did visit again the whole blade option, and I asked the orthopaedic surgeon, would the blade offload this leg and help me get further, because bear in mind the claudication. He said maybe it would, and asked did he want him to give me any supporting documentation. I said yes please, so that we can get ACC to fund one, because like everybody has said, it could work, but we're not going to know unless we try it. So he's going to write a letter, and hopefully that will help ACC make a decision, and we'll maybe get that running blade started. So I'm going to see if I can actually go further, even just walking on something with cushioning. We also talked, me and Ryoji also talked about the claudication and what could help it with regards to the leg, and he was talking about an elevated suction system. So it's like a suction pump goes into the socket, and that could help with circulation, something they're still talking about right now. And we have tweaked the bike leg. So what we've done with it, I'll just grab it, is on the back of the socket we have taken the back down, and we've taken the side away, and that means that the bit that was causing me friction behind the knee now isn't, because we've taken it all down. Also done a similar thing with the walking leg. He was talking about flaring the sides out, and I said no, because it'll make my leggings look funny. So he's taken the sides of the leg down a bit, and that will hopefully remove the chafing. And they're so clever, these guys in the limb centre, because he's also put this little bit of padding inside the bottom of the socket, and instantly I've got 2 socks have come off. So it's amazing. So my same leg that I collected in June is still going. And we're still waiting for ACC to come to the party with regards to the leg. But I have had an email from them today saying that they will fund all the equipment that we are asking them to fund so that I can go back to work. So we get in there very slowly. Lake Te Anau. I came yesterday and it was a little warmer than it was today. We had a little bit of brain freeze before we started. Took me a wee while, but now acclimatised. So here's what the lake looks like today. Very cloudy. Not much view going on today. So I'm just on my way back now. I am now in a hot tub because you get this free when you're a member of the top 10, and it's pretty cool, really. Yeah, outside. I've just come back from the lake, so it's the perfect way to warm back up again before my shower. I can imagine this would be really nice on a winter's evening. They've got some twinkly lights up there around the edges I can see. Yeah, I reckon this would be good on a winter's evening with some wine. I can see why people would like to have these in their houses. So, how do you get into a hot pool tub when you've only got one leg? The hot tub is round with metal sides that slope and a seat that's too low to kneel on. After some puzzlement, I finally figured it out. The stool is placed next to the hot tub, kneel on it with my knock leg, and then step in with the other one. Tricky, but possible. Something I want you to consider is getting across the road when you're a wheelchair user. It's never really been something that's been a problem because there's crossings on every corner in my local town, but there's not in this one. So I'll just show you the problem. That's the campsite. That's the road I need to cross. The town is over there, but I have got to go all the way down there. And this path is shit that I've got to go down to get to that crossing, which is way down there. This is Ivan Wilson Park. It's only small and there's a little lake that way, a bit peaty. The fishermen fish on it, the swimmers swim in it sometimes when the Lake Te Anau is too choppy. I've not been in it, fit for a swim anyway. It's a short loop. I know I can get right round the loop and I know where the benches are so that I can sit down when I need to. I have the crutches with the off-road bottoms on them, and my goal is just to have a little stroll. No more grand than that. What I've discovered is I can actually walk up this slope and control my left leg with my knee slightly bent, which is really good because it's taken me a long time to activate the quad, like a year or more. Look what I have just found randomly here in the woods. I can cycle 5k easily. I can even push myself in a wheelchair 5k easily. This is what I look like after walking 2k with 2 sit-down stops in the middle. It's shit being an amputee. Really interesting. I haven't been to this park since the end of summer, start of winter, several months, and I was only just starting out on 2 feet. I remember finding it really hard. I remember finding the slightly uneven surface really hard, and I remember I couldn't get round all the way without having to stop multiple times. I definitely noticed today that I was more easily walking on the uneven surface. I was trusting the flexion of the hydraulic ankle. Sloping sideways surfaces way easier on 2 feet than they were when I was in the wheelchair, to be honest, but I couldn't have done this route in a wheelchair. The slope up here is too steep. However, here's the interesting thing. I did the first time round. I've got the crutches because I totally didn't expect to be able to get round. I got about 600 metres and had to sit down. Now I can't make my mind up whether it was hamstring or calf pain that made me sit down, but I sat down, and then 200 more metres up the road there was another bench, and I was like, damn it, if only I'd have got a bit further. I carried on going, and I sat down on this bench when I got around the loop. So I had sat down on the loop once. I know that is better than before. I sat here for a wee while, let the legs stop hurting, and then I thought, I'd probably walk around one more time. So I went around again, and the second time I did not stop at all. That means I got 1.2 kilometres. I was able to trick my leg into not hurting, and I focused on the hamstring and glute, and I straightened my leg, glute squeeze, straightened my leg a bit more when the calf started to hurt, and I managed to get it to stop hurting, and it was not actually hurting at all when I sat down this time, and it was last time. The other thing that I noticed was earlier on when I went to the lake, I am a lot more nimble getting in and out of the lake, getting in and out of a wetsuit. It's almost like it's become normal. It isn't, but I remember it being very awkward, very clunky and very wobbly the last time I was here at the end of last summer. So that is a good thing too. It's pretty good actually to do things that I haven't done for ages, because you don't notice the small steps, but when you come back and do something months later and it's better, then you notice. So it's kind of positive affirmations for me, which I need sometimes because it feels like a mountain to climb all the time. So, quite frankly, this gives me hope, because if I can focus on the hamstring and glute when I'm walking the same way as when I'm cycling, that means I might be able to get a bit further on 2 feet. I have not tried it without crutches. But to be honest, I wasn't leaning on the crutches heaps, but they were good to know that they were there. But the fact that I was able to do that is bloody amazing. I haven't managed it before whilst on 2 feet, so yay to me. Earlier in this blog, I talked about visiting Lorraine in hospital and the fact that she had leukemia. Well, sadly, when I got back from my walk in Ivan Wilson Park, I had a message from her daughter to say that she had passed away. It was only the beginning of this week that I visited her, and I didn't know at the time that it would be the last time that I visited her. Lorraine is somebody I met when I was in hospital the day that they told me I would need my leg amputated, and they pulled the magic curtain around and she heard what happened from the other side, and we've stayed in contact ever since. And she was just a lovely, lovely person. I loved listening to her stories about her younger years, and she'll be sadly missed, I'm sure, by all of her family. So rest in peace, Lorraine, and we'll see you on the other side.